No. No. Where is it at? Oh yeah.
There's something about cheap items that lure everyone in at some point or another. You think, why would I ever need any of these cheap items? But the next thing you know, you have not one, but two sticky hands in your possession. Games are the same way. You see all these cheap games on the eShop, and eventually we all buy at least one. And this is where Champion of the Cheap comes into play to help you decide which cheap eShop games is worth your money. We take 16 of the cheapest games in the eShop, match them all up in a bracket, let two games battle it out every week to see which one advances, and eventually one game will emerge as the greatest, cheapest, winningest eShop game of all. A true champion of the cheap. Last year, for year one of the series, the prize went to Jumping Joe, which I still think deserves the crown. However, a year has passed, and developers around the world united to flood the eShop with even more cheap games, just so the Ogles Channel could support yet another bracket of Champion of the Cheap. Year 2 edition. Rules are simple for the games that are competing. Number 1, just be under 50 cents in the eShop, on sale or regular price. Because let's be honest, the games that go on sale for under 50 cents are always going on sale for these prices. Like this one, it will literally be on sale for the next 198 days. Why not just say that this is the normal price at this point? And number 2, compete and win every bracket along the way until you conquer all games and become Champion of the Cheap. Year 2 edition. The first bracket to compete is going to be NecroWorm and SwarmRiders. Let's look at NecroWorm first. The eShop describes this game as it's midnight, you're dead, and a bad case of the munchies. Can't relate. Also, the description says I'm an abominable serpent. I thought I was a worm. Game doesn't know the difference between a worm and a snake? That's sad. The game also claims a spooky atmosphere. Better live up to all 4 of those O's. But upon starting the game, we were greeted with a disgusting looking worm. I mean, you got random hair sticking out of his skin, looks like he's barely conscious. I mean, blech. The game itself keeps this title character though, as you press the control pad to move the worm in the direction of your choice to try and collect the random Halloween items, like a brain or a skull or an eyeball. I mean, they really stepped outside the box here. Now, when I first saw screenshots of this game, I thought the worm would be constantly moving, and you just simply have to navigate in live action like the old phone game Snake. A classic. However, you literally just move in one direction until you stop holding the button down, and then you stop. This makes the game that is already teetering on boredom even more boring. Also, when you stop pressing the direction pad, the worm keeps on moving for about a second. This delay is unnecessary, it's annoying, and it's difficult to try and time when you want to stop the worm. There were so many times I overshot my goal just because of this delay. Now once you collect all the required items though, you will advance to the next level, which looks exactly like the same level before it. Occasionally they'll add in little keys to collect to unlock doors, but the few varieties they add in, they don't really make the game any better. If you ever get stuck though on the best route to take, you can also just simply ask for help and the game shows you how to beat the level. So what little challenge was present is now completely gone. Like, why not just play the whole game for us? The game also tried to claim it was spooky with all those extra O's, but when you're bored, it's actually hard to be scared or hard to be spooked. I'd say this game doesn't deserve any of the O's in spooky. The next game is SwarmRiders, which judging from the opening picture, looks awesome. You got these 2 future-looking steampunks riding a sweet motorcycle through town while killer drones are chasing after them. I love it, but let's see what the eShop has to say about the game first. It says the game takes place 400 years before the events of Uber Mosh Black. What? Evidently, that is a game too, or 3 games to be exact, and evidently this is the prequel to all of them. So I guess it's a good place to start to see if I like the series. Also, it says a few minutes of elegant gameplay? Seriously? This game that claimed it was endless openly admits that you're only looking at getting a few minutes of fun out of it? Alright, let's see how it plays though. You start the game and you're on a motorcycle with killer drones approaching, just like the picture showed you, so it lives up to its picture. You're automatically firing a gun and blowing them up. They come mostly from one direction, but a few come from the top or the bottom to hit you as well. Once they hit you, you lose your health, and when you get down to 0, you lose the game. When you lose, they give you a letter ranking, and then you start again. This is literally the entire game. They weren't kidding when they said a few minutes of gameplay. There were so many things they could have done with the game, like had maybe weapon upgrades or waves of different types of enemies, but no, let's just take the least effort possible and have a static gameplay experience. I played it for what the game recommended, a few minutes, and my high score received me a ranking of a B, which also gave me the meaningless badge of Swarm Carver. I can't say I hate this game, because for what little it offers, I admit I sort of had fun, but this is probably the shortest game that I've ever actually paid for. So which of these two games will get to advance to the next round? A game that was honestly pretty boring with lackluster controls and a disgusting lead character? Or a game with an awesome looking duo that was over in less than 5 minutes? It's tough, but for round 1 of the second year of Champion of the Cheap, I'm going to have to go with SwarmRiders. Yes, the game was short and very static, but I did actually have some fun while I was playing it. This is more than can be said for NecroWorm, where I literally couldn't wait until it was over. I can't say that for SwarmRiders though, it definitely did not overstay its welcome, because it was over nearly before I even started the game. So congratulations to SwarmRiders on getting to advance to the next bracket, and as the contest continues, we'll see if you have what it takes to become Champion of the Cheap, Year 2 edition. Next week will be Dead Dungeon vs Mushroom Quest, but if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and comment down below which game you felt should have advanced. But like always, go out there, find a great game to play, and just simply have a great rest of the day.